Hello there again. This is my presentation number 3. I shared with you a vision I had about the happy world where there was no crime, no military, no need for borders between countries, no conflicts of any kind, and people lived very happily in this world. This is something which we are far from it at the moment. At the moment, we have many problems in the world. For one thing, our environment is being polluted very rapidly at local level, at regional level, at global level. We have global warming, which is threatening life on this planet. Are we to do something about this problem? Do we feel responsible for solving these problems, environmental problems that we have at the levels I mentioned? What are our solutions? What are the solutions which are presented by the scientific community and by the world organizations and by governments throughout the world? In order to solve this problem or these problems, we need to find out what caused them. This is an engineering approach. If a bridge fails and if you want to rebuild it, you have to find out what was the reason for the bridge to fall. So we have to find out why we have such an environmental situation at the moment. What caused it? I believe the main reason we have environmental problems and rapid depletion of natural resources is because of the man seeking happiness through acquiring more wealth, becoming more famous, or acquiring more power. I believe all the problems that we have had throughout the world are because of these 3 issues. The attitudes that women have had for attaining happiness. If we want to solve the problems, we have to reverse our attitudes, we have to re-examine our attitudes and adopt an attitude where our happiness is obtained, secured and increased through rendering of the most effective service, unconditional, and giving to the people who need it most our unconditional and selfless love. If we can secure love in our life, we have developed a reverence for the nature. If we love nature, we don't want to harm it. If we love our natural resources, we don't want to harm it anymore. So we are very careful in using our natural resources so that we do not waste it. We reuse, recycle our goods that we have at our disposal, we are using at the moment, instead of discarding them, simply throwing them away and causing more environmental problems and pollutions. We try to reuse, recycle, and reduce our use of the systems or whatever we have at our disposal. With the change of attitude for securing happiness, I'm sure we can reverse our global warming, we can reverse our environmental pollutions at local and regional levels. So we need to work on ourselves to attaining happiness, not through wealth or fame or power, rather through giving love and service to those who need it most. By securing happiness and being happy, we can also guarantee health for ourselves. I'd like to share something with you. When I was writing this book, Love to be Happy, I had listed the elements which are contributing to our misery. I call them emotional miseries like anger, arrogance, hate, and jealousy, and so forth. I had listed a number of them. Then I got hold of a book written by a lady called Louise Hay. She happened to believe that whatever illness that we have, there is an emotional reason for it. And she gives a table relating our illness to an emotional misery that we have suffered from since our childhood or since a long time ago. When I noticed that the list that she provides as the means for giving us illness for later days, later years, I compared that with the list I had provided as elements which can reduce our happiness. I noticed that there's an overlap between the two lists of about 80%. So she says that if you do not have these miseries, emotional miseries, you will be healthy. I say if you do not have these emotional miseries, you are happy. Therefore, I concluded that if you want to be healthy, you need to be happy. So the factors which contribute to our health are the ones contributing to our happiness and vice versa. Therefore, if we want to combat the present environmental problem and the issues that we have, we need to work on increasing our true happiness, helping our family members, helping our neighbors, helping our community to become happier. I suggest that we hold circles, get together with our neighbors, families, friends, and so forth, to examine our happiness. Perhaps all members of the circle will fill up the happinometry table for a number of days, maybe about 20, 30 days, and come up with a list of what are the emotional miseries that they are suffering from, which keeps their happiness low. And also find out what are the values that they are enjoying, which increase their happiness. After we do this, after we find out for the circle, for a number of people in the group, as to what are the factors which reduce their happiness, then we can work out, we can find out what are the human values which can reduce or completely eliminate those miseries. I have mentioned this in the book called Love to be Happy. I invite you, in order to become happier, to form a circle with your friends and relatives or in the community so that you work on yourself. I have described in the book Love to be Happy that you get together and do this and you start meditating, and through this alpha state of your mind you visualize that you are giving help or forgiving people, you need to forgive, and so forth. Therefore, I invite you to work on yourself to make yourself happier. Not necessarily through attaining more wealth or becoming more powerful or more famous. They are not contributing to our happiness. And I'm not against having wealth or being powerful or being famous. But we should not seek our happiness through increasing these elements. We should seek our happiness through rendering the most effective service to those who need it most, completely unconditional and unselfish, along with giving them the most unselfish and unconditional love. I hope that you are happy. I hope that all people throughout the world are happy, and I hope that every human, every being in the world is happy. I will see you again in another presentation. I invite you to take a look at the books. I call Love to be Happy. There's another book, The University of Life, that I have there, and I have not talked about it, but I do like to talk about in next presentation. Thank you, and see you again.